It's time once again for everybody to come aboard that one and done train. Welcome to One and Done. Bienvenidos a todos a One and Done, your fast break of college basketball information, coming to you live tonight to react to Missouri's 10-point win over Auburn, 84-74 in SEC play. We're happy that you joined us tonight to chop it up about this matchup, Tigers against Tigers. If you're a cat fanatic, then this is the show for you, definitely. My name's Jay Heinrich. I'm the conductor of the aforementioned One and Done train, joined tonight by the man around here known as El Capitan himself, the captain of the One and Done ship at MC Holland 34 on X, the OG Money Mike, Mr. Mike Holland. Mike, like I said, coming in, Missouri getting a 10-point victory here in the SEC play. Their 12th straight win at home to start the season. Where do you want to start after this game?
Yeah, I mean, both teams kind of going in. How do you do it, Jay? We're opposite directions in SEC play right now, man. So Missouri now climbs up to 3-1, while Auburn falls to 1-3. A nice quality win for Missouri here, getting the 10-point victory. Obviously, Dennis Gates continues the roller coaster of his career at Missouri, where he came in the 22-23 season. They come out of nowhere. They're 25-10, make it to the second round of the tournament, defy all expectations. They fall off the next year, going 0-18 in conference play. And then last year, picking it back up 10-8, they get back to the tournament. Well, we didn't know if this was if the trend was going to continue, and it doesn't look like it's going to go that way, because now they're 3-1 and descending, and they look pretty solid offensively. Tonight, kind of a weird game, Jay. We're talking pre-show. Missouri just really balanced tonight. You got 22 from Stone, who's been awesome in I believe this is fifth game back. He's just been lighting it up. Just gives them another weapon to go along. Everyone knows that you have to stop Robinson, you have to stop Mitchell. Well, Robinson really didn't have to do much because you have Stone back. Mitchell was pretty awesome tonight. 20 points, 5 boards, 5 assists. And he's just obviously been around the block for a while. He's your veteran presence that's there. And then Trent Pierce, who's been playing really well lately. And I love the energy that T.O. Barrett brings off the bench, man. But, yeah, just a quality win from Missouri. But this Auburn side, Jay, I don't know what's happening here, man. I know, Bruce Pearl stepped down, kind of threw some things off, right? We liked the roster coming into the season. But, man, they're just, I know they had that really nice win the other day. Who they played? They beat Arkansas by 22 points, man. But outside of that, it has not looked pretty. Todd Pettiford looks like he's taken a step back. He and Keyshawn Hall, if him and Hall are going to go 5 for 21, Jay, they're not going to win. It's pretty simple, man. So, yeah, my key takeaways is just, man, Auburn needs to find something else to hang their hat on in conference games.
Yeah, when you look at Auburn's game, and Pettiford looks, you said it, he looks like there's a regression there. It doesn't make any sense. We were talking about his offensive rating being so much lower this season than last year. And it does, analytics aside, you watch the guy play basketball, and he doesn't look like a confident basketball player anymore. It does not make any sense to me. Maybe that was the Bruce Pearl magic that he had cooked. Who knows what's going on there. But the new coach, Pearl, seems to have a little bit of a problem on his hands here from a star perspective, if you will. But I wanted to look at the Missouri side. T.O. Barrett, you mentioned him a little bit ago. That's a career high 13 points for him, bringing that energy, 4 for 5 off the bench. But more importantly, Mike, Barrett made 5 out of 6 free throws. Okay? Stone made 6 out of 6, which basically means everybody missed everything else. Okay? No, but there was just so many, obviously Mark Mitchell being a big part of the reason those free throw numbers are so ugly for Missouri, man. But let's stick with Mitchell here. He exerted himself physically, especially at the start of the second half, figured out a way to just dominate there. Even when Auburn was dropping down into a zone, trying to pack things in a little bit, Mitchell was still finding a way to get things done. Talk about Mark Mitchell's impact for this Missouri side and how the role that he plays in their long-term sort of, what he's going to have to do for them to even, they might be outside looking in right now, but if they would get to the tournament, how does Mitchell play a role in that?
Yeah, so I mean, with Mitchell, man, he's gotten better, right? Like when you're this 5 star, you go to Duke, you're 5 star freshman, everybody expects, right? And he was solid, right? His first couple of years at Duke. His offensive rating has actually been really solid this year. Now he hasn't shot the three ball well for them, and that was a major concern coming into this year. Was like, man, can you get anything from the 4 or 5 spot from the 3 point line from Missouri? Because you're going to come in here, you're going to play with Sean Phillips, who's baby Shaq. You're not going to get anything from him from three. Mark Mitchell's, your four. He's not going to stretch the floor. He's only shooting 26% this year from three, and can't make a free throw to save his life. So, I mean, he came into the game 66% on the year, and he's getting to the line a ton, almost a top 50 free throw rate, and he goes 6 for 14. So that a little concern there. Now, Missouri has definitely covered that up. Now, a lot of that helps because they played the 350th strength of schedule in the non-con, so you don't really need that. But in SEC play, they're still shooting 37, 38% after this game. So you don't mind having the 4 or 5 as more plotters that are inside, and it's not really killing the spacing on this team when you have, guys like Jaden Stone who's coming in, flame throwing. Jacob Cruz shooting 48% from three on the year. Stone's at 44%. So if these guys are going to continue to shoot it really, really well from three, and really they shot 9 for 19, Jay, but Trent Pierce was 5 for 7, and Stone was 2 for 5. Like you kind of
That was
take
it.
away, and everything else is kind of found money for them. So they really need Stone. They really need Pierce, and then obviously they need Robinson to knock down some threes for them to to have some success in the long term. They tried Sebastian Mack, the transfer from UCLA. He's more of a downhill guy. He's out right now. I think it actually, I hate to say it, but makes him maybe a little more efficient. And the spacing is just a little bit better, Jay. But yeah, I mean, I'd hate to see it, Mitchell getting fouled in the NCAA tournament. I think they're in right now after this win. Getting fouled and just like you got to make some free throws, man. A little nervous about the spacing, especially when you play elite teams. But so far through 4 conference games, man, we haven't really had those issues. They got the win over Florida. They beat Kentucky. Doesn't look great right now. They get the win against Auburn. The loss at Ole Miss was on the road, so you kind of give them that. They're shooting 62% from the free throw in conference play. That's a tough way to win if you're not super efficient. From three. That's what they've been, and they've obviously been really, really solid defensively in conference play.
Well, and also if you're not efficient from three, and if you don't know how to break a press, it was so frustrating to watch them turn the
Yeah,
ball over
silly.
4 times in about a minute and a half. It looked like they'd never practiced a press break before. I kept waiting for the guy in the middle of the domino to show up because there's plenty of space right there, and nobody would come to the middle of the floor. They just looked like an amoeba floating around, which if you're pressing that, please, by all means, run around like you don't know what you're doing. It looked like they did not know how to break a press for a while, and I know that Auburn stepped up the intensity because they had to. Like they didn't have any other choice at that point and started full court press, which was almost wish they would have gone to it a couple minutes sooner. It's not like they didn't. They could have just run some more guys out there. They got the bodies for it. They could have just run that press break, and then there were so many fouls in the second half, man. Like in the
It
bonus
was
of
a
like the
foul
12
fest.
minute mark. Yeah, it was the exact opposite of the first half. The physical intensity really, really stepped up in the second half for both teams. Mark Mitchell was a big part of that, obviously. But I mean, when it was just a tale of two halves, and Missouri found a way to get it done. I thought Gates challenging that out of bounds play, even if he didn't think he was going to win that challenge there, that coach's challenge, you get a nice long extended timeout for your team to sit there and be like, guys, like, what are we doing right now with trying to, not, are we handing them the game here? We can't break a press. I thought that was probably his best coaching move of the game, whether or not he thought he was going to win that challenge or not, to give his team that extended break at that point. It was just, they couldn't do anything right at all. And, credit to Auburn for stepping up the intensity, but when Missouri finally would break the press, then they're getting easy dunks by
Yeah,
Stone
easy,
or,
easy
like
dunks, man.
it just,
Easy
but they
buckets.
couldn't break it. They couldn't break the
Yeah.
press. And that was
So
really
one
weird to
one
watch.
thing that you're mentioning about Auburn's defense, Jay, that's been the biggest difference. So like for all the knock that Stephen Pearl gets, man, like the offense has been there. They're still a top 10 offense in the country. You have Hall, you have even though the Pettiford struggles, right? Like you've still got a very effective offense. The huge difference is that Bruce Pearl, you know, the last 2 years, you've had Janai Broom, one of the best defensive players in the country. You had Dylan Cardwell, who's playing for the Kings in the NBA right now. I mean, he had a 7% shot blocking rate. You had Chad Baker Mazara, Denver Jones, really good on ball wings. The drop off defensively, even though they stepped up the intensity in the second half, the fall off defensively for Auburn has been kind of the biggest challenge for them. Like when you're going from ninth in defensive efficiency and giving up 92 points per 100 possessions to giving up 105 points per 100 possessions, and you're falling nearly out of the top 100. How many times do we talk about it? If you're a Power 5 team outside the top 50, like you're giving up buckets, and it gets even worse in SEC play. They got no rim defense. They have to be really good offensively. And what happened to their 2 stars? They went 5 for 21 offensively. Like they kind of fit in this mold of Wisconsin, right? Like you're gonna win some games, you're gonna beat some teams that people are going to be maybe even shocked by. Like we were all shocked. We're like, oh man, Wisconsin beat Michigan, right? We're like, oh snap, like oh no, Auburn killed Arkansas by 22. How does that happen? Super effective offensively, right? They have to be that in order to win games, and that's just a tough way to win. You don't have an out, and last year wasn't even an out. It was their staple, was their defense of why they went to the Final Four. They've been top 10 the last 2 years. They're going to struggle to stay in the top 100 as we go through SEC play. So major concerns defensively.
It almost makes you think like, hey, if you can just pull that out, and honestly, Missouri shot themselves in the foot a couple of different times trying to break that. Like, why are we taking the ball across half court and stopping in the corner and picking up our dribble?
Yeah, that's like the second rule. Right?
I was going to say, that's like day 2 of practice, man. Like, you don't pick up your dribble in the corner against and Missouri was finding a way to do that. And it looked so discombobulated. They're going to have to clean that up for sure if they expect to make a run in the tournament or even get to the tournament, right? They're going to have to play better than that. But credit to Missouri for coming away with the 10-point victory tonight, 84-74. At home for them, their 12th straight win at home to start the season. Let's get to the live chat. Apologies for not getting to you sooner. Our guy Cam, C Thuggin, CT Huggin, what it do, baby? He's a gangsters. What up?
Checking shots at Stephen Pearl there, man. I think he's done a good job. I don't, these expectations, right, are just coming off the Final Four. Like this was a pretty tough spot to be put in. But it does look weird when 2 weeks before the season, or 3, which is a month before the season.
Yeah, maybe make it a little less obvious, maybe, or not, or you don't care at that point, obviously, right? Our guy Darren's in live chat as well. Snake's Eyes hanging out. Woe is the Tigers.
Yeah, sorry, Snake's Eyes, man. Let us know, Snake's Eyes, what's going on in the comments or after the show, man. Tell us what you think about your Tigers.
Yeah, resident Auburn supporter there, Snake's Eyes in the live chat. Darren saying either team has a clear path to a deep NIT run. I don't know, man. Honestly, Missouri could be one of those teams in the deep SEC that could. There's opportunities to win big time games up and down their schedule every single night. So shout out to everybody for hopping in the live chat. And they did that because they hit that subscribe button and they also have their notification bells on. They're hanging out with us here live, breaking down Missouri and Auburn here on a Wednesday night. Oh yeah, my bad. I forgot. No, let's go back. Snake's Eyes. Apologies. I'm gonna put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. I'm gonna roll that one. Yeah, my bad. There we go. All right. We'll make it right. Anyways, 84-74 win for Missouri. Thanks for everybody for hanging out in the live chat. Make sure if you hung around with us this long, you push those like and subscribe buttons, turn on your notification bells like Snake's Eyes, Darren, Cam, and the guys. Our guy, Nate C. Hustle, pushing the buttons tonight. Shout out to Nate. Appreciate you. Shout out to our guy, Eric, for getting the studio together as well. Eric the Blue at Fantasy Nav in those Twitter streets. An 84-74 win for Missouri at home in SEC play moves them to 3-1 in the conference. Auburn dropping to 1-3, quite a hole they're going to have to try to climb themselves Out of. Thanks for everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you. Thanks to that guy sharing your viewing device screen with me around here. He's known as El Capitan himself, chasing commas in those DFS streets. We got a DFS show coming up this week, probably Friday. So make sure you have the notification bells on for that. We're going to get this bread for Saturday's slate. We're also doing a Sunday recap show. Next week, we'll probably have a Mountain West live stream here. If there's one worthy of the broadcasting, we'll have that simulcast here on the channel. So make sure you hit those buttons. Turn all the bells on. I get choked up just thinking about it. Oh, I'm just kidding. Thanks to everybody. We appreciate you. Tell somebody that you love them. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Until next time, I'm JAYHEINRICH. Come again. We'll see you.